It's another week and we're back for more. Today we are in double digit episodes, so that means we gotta bring the good conversation today.
You may remember, we interviewed the Ivy a few weeks back, and today we're lucky enough that Jordan, who was just on tour with them as their drummer, he's joining us today, and he's going to talk about drumming. He's going to talk about photography.
Hello, my name is Jordan Lynch. I'm the drummer for the Ivy, and I'm also a photographer for the Ivy, but just not live, obviously, because I'm drumming.
So let's kind of start all the way back at the beginning. Kind of how did you first get into music?
Um, I I started drumming when I was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
My dad was a drummer, and he played in like the kids' church band at the church that I went to as a kid, and also my best friend's dad was a piano player. Um, so like a very musical family. My friend, he was a drummer, and yeah, I like was always wanted to do something with music, but I didn't know. I was like, man, do I want to play guitar? Do I want to learn? Like drumming is cool. And then because my dad was a drummer, he bought me a kit, and he was like, I think you'd be a good drummer. And he bought me a kit, and then like
The
kind of
rest
the
is
the rest
history.
is history. Yeah, but like it was like a weird like I would go months without playing and practicing, but I eventually like realized, no, yeah, this is something I want to do, and then stuck with it.
Did you take lessons or are you self-taught?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
My mom was able to get me some lessons as a kid, but a lot of it was just like turn on a YouTube video and then try to play the song on the YouTube video. Uh, so yeah, I'd say like a hybrid.
Okay.
Like so a lot of the basics I was taught, and then like from there I was able to take what I learned and just watch YouTube and stuff.
So
But
then, how did you get into photography in general? Like, did you start with doing music photography, or where did you start at with that?
I started on my phone. Uh, I went to a college in Oklahoma, called OBU, and I had some friends that I met that were like big into like the VSCO scene and like
Oh yeah.
back when, not to be a purist, but back when Instagram was cool, and they would
Yeah.
do like weekend hashtag projects and like all that kind of thing. Um, I kind of like started messing around with photography just on my phone, and then I met those guys, and they like helped me learn like how to use light and how to use like how to actually compose and like how to edit uh,
Mhm.
and edit well. And then from there, I like got an actual camera, um, and then like it just became like it was a hobby, but now it's a job. Um, so yeah,
That's so
I don't know
cool.
if that really makes sense, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, the VSCO scene. I used to put the same VSCO filter on every single Instagram picture that
Yeah.
I had.
yeah,
It was like the
it was
slightly
the
blue
best.
tinted one,
Yeah,
and that
what
was
was
on
that like
everything.
P5 or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on every single picture, and I was like, wow, my Instagram is so curated.
It's so cohesive,
Yeah.
but it was fun, and like I was able to learn a lot and meet some pretty cool people. I mean, I don't really talk to any of them anymore, but like I do owe a lot of my photography skills, I guess, like the bedrock of my photo
Mhm.
skills to them, I would say.
So
Um,
how did you get into like the live music photography side of things and I mean kind of photography for like just music in general?
yeah, so I grew up in the church world, so like that's probably where I would say a lot of my drumming and photography came from.
Mhm.
Um, and the church I was at was like pretty big, and they would do like some of those bigger like productions and stuff.
Mhm.
And I was an intern on the like video film team or whatever,
That's cool.
and they knew that I was like more focused on photography than I was video, so they would
Hmm.
let me like shoot a lot of the services. And from there, I was able to like it's the same room and environment, so it like kind of forces you to be creative after a
Hmm.
while because you could shoot the same like wide shot of the whole stage and then like get some tights of the singers or whatever, but eventually that gets really lame and
Yeah.
you've got to
Yeah.
like get creative. So I think
Yeah.
that helped.
Yeah. That would
Just
help with
being
like
like stuck
the
kind of.
composition side of things too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then I knew that I wanted to do like music type photos, so I would reach out to bands. Like I would just check like the website for Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa and like see who was coming, and then reaching out. And I was able to shoot I really only landed one gig. This was like so long ago. I like
Yeah.
uh was able to shoot Judah and the Lion. Um, and I feel so bad because the photos were so bad. And I was like, hey, here's the photos. If you guys ever want anything, like if you ever want me to shoot again, let me know. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. And they were some of the like the worst photos. I mean, looking back, they're probably not that bad. I'm just like hard on myself, but they were
Yeah.
rough. Um, so I wish I had a chance to redeem myself with like after I've gotten a little bit better. But
You shooted your shot though. I mean,
yeah,
you never
gotta
know.
take a chance.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna
Maybe,
say you gotta just have the confidence. Like, hey, here it is.
yeah. Uh, I actually So the Ivy is friends with the current photographer for Judah and the Lion, and he
Oh,
was
cool.
at our show in Nashville,
Oh,
just
nice.
hanging out backstage. Um, so it was cool to meet him, and like I don't think I told him that I shot for them because I was a little embarrassed, but
Maybe
yeah,
one
it
day,
was pretty cool. Yeah, I should message him on Instagram and be like, hey man,
just so you know.
can you check the archives for like some show in 2017 at Tulsa? Tell me what you think of
Give
those
me another
photos.
shot.
Yeah. If you ever need a second shooter, like let me know. But yeah, pretty cool.
Was there ever a point when you felt more drawn to either the photography side of things or the drumming side of things? Like which one kind of has, I guess, stood out as kind of your go-to
Yeah.
as a
I
career, I
think
guess.
uh I think I've always been like probably like 60-40
Hmm.
drumming.
Okay.
Like a lot of times when I would be shooting a service or something, I'd be like, man, I wish I was playing like I'd be playing better than this guy. No. I would just be constantly like watching the drummer and like listening and not critiquing, but just like focusing on that and then like also shooting my photos. But I was thinking about it like I always had the dream to play drums for an opening band on a tour and then be the headlining band's photographer.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
that's
ever a thing, but I
That would
always
be
thought
cool
that would be
though.
really
yeah.
cool. Yeah, it'd be a lot probably, but I think that way I could do both.
Yeah.
Um, because I know that I for sure would rather be drumming than
Okay.
shooting, but
Okay.
I do love photography. Photography, I feel like is more of a hobby, and then like drumming would be like career.
Yeah.
But photography also supports drumming because it's hard to get paid for drumming.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean
So
it's hard to get paid for photography too, so you're
that's
doing
true.
something
Yeah,
right.
that's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying.
So how did you start getting booked for gigs as a drummer?
Um, Most of the gigs were like, if they weren't church, it was like word of mouth. Like I would do little coffee shop gigs
Mhm.
around Tulsa. Um, the guy who's now my roommate, I was good friends with him, and he was in like a little jam band. Uh, and every once in a while, their drummer wouldn't be able to do it, so I would fill in, and we'd just be playing like random like Justin Timberlake covers and like just typical like pop songs or like a lot of songs that you would see here at weddings. Like I played a
Yeah.
wedding with them, um, and I did a little bit of that, and then with the Ivy, I do you want me to go into that whole
I mean,
thing
you
or
can.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
cool?
We're
I
here for the
just
stories.
messaged I just responded to an Instagram post. One of my friends was like, "Hey, my friends are looking for a drummer that has like this set of gear and a passport." And I was like, "Well, I have this set of gear and a passport." So I messaged him, and he was like, "Cool. Have you ever heard of the Ivy?" I was like, wow, yeah, actually I have. I like listen to their music. Um, and then his name was Braden. He connected me with Sean, and then I got coffee with Sean one day, and then went back to their house and like kind of like played a couple songs, kind of.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, it just kind of worked out after that
Wow.
because I think they had at the time. So it was we were right about to go on tour. This was like this time last year in
Okay.
like April uh, of what was that 2024.
Yeah.
Um, we were about to they were going to go on tour and they were like kind of scrambling looking for someone because the guy that was before them uh, just dropped out. Um, and the other guy that they had was like a he was probably like 40 or 50 and it just didn't fit the vibe of the band. So they were like, well, it's either you or this
Or
guy.
nothing.
Yeah. And so it kind of worked. But yeah, we were originally supposed to go on a tour, but that got canceled because the opening band bailed. And I don't know if they
Wow.
even still know why. They just like dropped out like a week or two before. It ended up not being like it was fine. Like um, we were able to play like a few shows in like Dallas and Oklahoma City,
Hmm.
and then we still played Norman Music Festival. So it was cool to be able to like ease into it and not have to like, oh well, here it is. You're on tour
Yeah.
now. It was cool to take my time getting like used to playing with the guys.
You've worked with like a lot of local musicians and then also now you've toured nationally. How do you earn the trust from musicians in terms of like understanding their sound and their image? Because I feel like that's a very like personal thing for each group that you might play with. So how do you earn the trust and then like what are some opportunities that helped you kind of like legitimize your work in terms of music?
So like before the Ivy, some of the jam bands that I was in, a lot of the guys I was already friends with.
Hmm.
Um, one guy in particular, and we already had like similar music taste, and we would talk about music with each other, and like that bond that we had already created, like helped us when we were actually playing.
Hmm.
And same with the Ivy, like I was able to hang out just at their house
Hmm.
with Sean and Wyatt, and like get to know them, and then able to talk about like music that we both liked and geek out over McGee. Um,
For good
and
reason.
yeah, and like just kind of bond off the stage, I guess. That
Hmm.
sounds corny, but like
Oh.
uh we were able to just like become friends. And
Hmm.
then from there, um I don't know, it was just kind of eased my way into it because
Yeah.
I like I always like to bring a little bit of my
Hmm.
creativity, I guess,
Yeah.
to drumming. So like I don't really like to play with whatever I'm playing. I don't like to play a song the exact same way that it's played uh on the recording. So I like wanted to try to bring my own personality to it, but at the same time it's like it's their baby. So it's like I don't want to take charge and be like, "Oh, I think this should be played this way."
Yeah.
Um so I would like it was I was able to like ask suggestions and be like, "Hey, what if I played this?" Or like there was on this last tour we played the song "Have You Ever Been in Love." Half of it is on like the drum pad that I use, and then
Hmm.
it's like verse one, drum pad, chorus one, kit, verse two, drum pad. But I was able to like, hey, what if we went verse two on the full kit instead of the drum pad? And they were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then from then on, we were able to do it that way. Um, so just like I think once that trust that they know that I'm not like showboating and like trying to
Yeah.
ruin what they've done, once that trust was built, then I'm able to like not like offer suggestions. And a lot of the time they were like, no,
That's okay.
they're like, no, we don't like
Hard
that.
no.
Yeah. And then same with photography. So like, uh, with the Ivy, I know that they've have kind of like like a Y2K, like 90s
Mhm.
vibe to a lot of their photos.
Yeah.
Um, and I was able to just kind of copy that. And that's already kind of, I mean, I don't think I'm super Y2K photos. I don't even know what, I just take them and edit them. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think I was able to like try to emulate that to the best of my ability. Like, and uh, fortunately, because we were friends, I was able to just like go over to their house and like, hey, what if we tried this? And they had a cool backyard with a shed. So we were like, hey, what if we tried this? And we're like, what if we threw some sawdust in the air and made like cool light streaks? And what
Yeah.
if we did all these little things? Kind of the same like with drumming and like planning the set
Hmm.
as photography, like just a bunch of like collaborating. Um, so yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of the same for
Yeah.
both, but at the base of it, it's just like the relationship of just like playing music and shooting photos of your friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Relationships with like the people who align with your creative vision is like the coolest thing in music. And that's
Yeah.
something that makes us so excited too. So that's really cool.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, it sucks when you're playing music with people that you can't stand, or
Yeah.
even like people that you like, even if there's like a little bit of a disconnect, or like,
Mhm.
I don't know, there's something about like when you guys like really mold and mesh together, it's really cool. And I think it comes out in the playing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
I feel like you can always tell live like if a band really like vibes together or if it's like because it's very creative. It's always cool to see how music comes forward like in a live setting versus like a recording. Like it's always I think so much better. But you
yeah.
can tell if somebody doesn't really vibe with each other.
Yeah. Or like, oh, they got in a fight on the bus or
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
van right
exactly.
before this. Or, I
What
mean, there
went
were
down?
days, there were days when it was like, um, you get like tired of being around the same people. So you're like,
Hmm.
ah, man, I don't want to play this show or whatever. But um, you just kind of like rally together, make some jokes beforehand, have a couple beers, and then you're a little bit more relaxed, and
Yeah.
then you're able to like just be friends,
Yeah.
um, just homies playing some music together.
I was gonna ask, so with the Ivy tour, they had multiple songs that like they had played live before, but they had others that they hadn't played before. Kind of how were you involved in kind of the composition of whatever the live version of the new songs are going to be versus the ones they'd played before?
So I guess this will contradict what I said earlier, but like so I've always struggled with like you can like super processed drums that almost sound like drum machiney. Uh,
Hmm.
I've struggled with how to translate that to a live
Yeah.
setting. Um, so for the most part, I would just try to like initially copy a little bit of what was played or like interpret it my own way, and then
Hmm.
from there, I'd be able to add little fills and like little textures, I guess. But I think I would just try to like use like for instance every little ladder. Um,
Hmm.
there's certain parts where I was like, I think this could be the drum pad, but I don't know. And then I would try it on the drum pad and it would work. And then uh, I would move to the regular kit. And there were times when like it could have been probably either way, but I would just play it like I would just do it. And then if Sean or Wyatt didn't like it, then they would be like, "Hey, what if you tried this?" Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I just kind of like I guess the recording is like a base, like a starting point,
Hmm.
and then from there you kind of mess around.
Did you record the drums for any of the songs since you've been with them or no?
Not yet. Uh,
Okay.
I really want to one day, hopefully, get to like actually. I'd love for like the drums to sound a little bit more like raw, if
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense. And like I don't know, that's kind of my dream, I guess, with the Ivies to be able
Yeah.
to like lay down some drums for maybe the next single or something.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I love live drums on a recording, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, bring back live drums.
Yeah.
You were kind of talking about this before that sometimes you just get like tired, you get like whatever, you get in little tiffs because you're all overtired, whatever. But so being a musician and touring is like often pretty romanticized, but it's hard. So how has your experience playing shows shaped your creativity and your discipline as an artist? Like, how do you balance that?
Hmm. I'm still learning discipline. Uh, this was the first tour that I'd ever done. So
Mm.
like in my mind, it was a bit romanticized. Uh, but like a lot of stuff can go wrong. And
You don't say. You don't say,
yeah,
yeah.
we had like seven different cars throughout the
Oh
whole.
my God, really?
Yeah. Well, some of it was like, so the van, I'm getting off topic, but the
That's okay.
van broke down in Vail, Colorado. And then to get to Denver, the only car that they could rent was like just a four-door sedan, which that couldn't tow the trailer. So they drove the little sedan to Denver to pick up a rental truck and then drove that back to pick up the trailer. So that was like three cars. And then while we were in, once the after the other car got stolen, that was like another situation where you had to rent a car and then drive it back. Uh, and then it was a U-Haul box truck, and then Sean's father-in-law, I guess, was able to let us use his truck for the Texas like leg of the
Mm.
shows. But yeah, I totally got off topic.
It's
Uh,
okay.
I don't. That's a
I
tough
don't know if
question.
I've ever heard of anybody using that many trucks on a single tour. So,
I was
you know,
like, oh, cool, we'll be in a van. Like, it's got like benches that Sean made. It's gonna be really cozy. And we had that for like a week, and then it was sitting on the floor in a U-Haul, uh, switching between like the regular bucket seat and the floor for like a week. Um, but I guess that kind of stuff, like you never know what's going to go wrong.
hmm
But like you still have to, excuse me, there were plenty of shows like, um, for instance, one of the shows, an audio console got left in Boston because it was used as a doorstop. And we were all tired. Like we were all like, it sounds really stupid that we forgot like the main piece of gear that you need, but it was just like, um, it was smaller. So someone just put it in front of the door and everyone was tired and like, the van had just gotten stolen or the car had just gotten stolen like 2 days ago. Uh, so like we were off our game and someone just forgot it. So when we got to Brooklyn, we were like, yo, where's the console? And it wasn't there. And you just have to learn to like roll with it.
hmm
Um, they had a console at the venue that we were able to use, and we had to like cut some stuff from the setup. But I don't know. I guess you just kind of take the punch, like you just take the
Yeah,
punches and
as
then
they come.
you roll with it.
Yeah.
And that kind of just builds like the Brooklyn show. After all of that, it was like one of the most fun shows, and I think also like we were all some of the most locked in that we've had that
Yeah.
we'd been on any of the other shows. Like after all that, we still played like a great show. So you kind of have to like turn it off.
hmm
Like, yeah, life is going
Life happens.
wrong. Like stuff's
Yeah.
happening and it sucks, but like you just like these people don't know. Like they're the fans. They just want to come to have a good night, see a good show. So we can't like project that onto them. And I mean, at times they'd be like, Wyatt would make like a like, yeah, this is what's going on. You should buy some merch. Uh, and just like being honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. You just have to make it happen.
Good
So
for you guys.
I guess like the takeaway is that like you just got to make it happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's corny, but
No, I
that's kind of what
mean,
you got to
like,
do.
yeah,
That's
the
like a corny way of
once the
saying it.
romanticized part goes away, like you realize what the reality of it is, and you can kind of make it I mean, however you see it makes it or breaks it. And if you see
Yeah,
it in a good light, then it's the opportunity to do this, and we're playing these incredible shows despite everything that's happened. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. That makes me wonder like what kind of things have gone wrong on like big tours or
Right? Oh my God.
like I mean, you hear some people that are like, it's 1 a.m. and the artist hasn't even come out yet, and then they come out and play like 20 minutes. Um, but then
Oof.
that's like the horror, like the bad version of it, the horror story side of it. But then there's probably plenty of times when like stuff goes wrong. I was at a 1975 show, uh, and this was like 2017, I think. They were touring with the Japanese house, and
Oh,
the drummer for the 1975, George, he's my one of my favorite drummers. I guess he fell off the
shout out
van and like
George.
broke his arm.
Oh my God.
or like his leg or something. So the drummer for the Japanese house had to just fill in, and like he learned the entire set and was
Wow.
able to play it
Wow.
that night. And so I feel like that kind of stuff just happens. I mean, that's like an extreme example, but like we had our own little versions of George breaking his leg. I mean, Wyatt, like his arm
It's not
got
funny.
hurt.
But like the at the show that I saw you guys at,
Wow.
there was no there was some I saw you guys in San Diego and there was a guy that played with you that had said he learned this
Oh, yep.
like 2 days before or
Yeah.
something and just played because that was like shortly after Wyatt hurt his arm. So
Yeah. It was pretty crazy, like how like that guy just kind of filled in. And then the same thing with that was before so Lynx, who is the tour support, her guitar player Emma,
Mm-hmm.
she learned the whole set so that
That's
she could fill
badass.
in. And
amazing.
like the plan was for her to do that, but then like slowly but surely Wyatt's hand got better. And he was like, "Yeah, no, I think I can just do it." Um, but yeah, like you just kind of yeah, it just like you just make it work. Um,
Yeah.
despite all the stuff, all the rigmarole.
Yeah.
I wanted to use that word.
So can you kind of tell us about the first time that you were asked to join a tour as a musician? Kind of what that story is.
Um, I guess the first time would have been when I initially joined the Ivy.
Hmm.
Um, the Ivy is really like the first band that I've like actual like band
Hmm.
that I've been in.
Okay.
So the first tour was the tour last year that got canceled,
Mm-hmm.
and then this one was the first one that like actually happened.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it was just like, hey, we're going on tour. Okay, cool. Let me know when. And I asked off work, and then yeah, it wasn't like a
And then you went on
crazy
tour.
like yeah, it wasn't. Fortunately, I'm a barista, so uh part time, so I was able to talk to my boss and be like, hey, I'm gonna be gone a month. He was like, okay. Uh, but yeah, it's not. Fortunately, it was really easy to just be able to like go,
Yeah.
which I'm super thankful for because if I had like a locked in like 9 to 5 gig, then I
Mhm.
probably would be, unless I could work remote, it would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
Um,
And working remote
yeah,
touring would be brutal.
Yeah.
yeah. Jackie actually, there would be times like she'd just be on her laptop with headphones on, like doing her remote work while we
Oh
were.
my
This was
God.
back when we were in the van. But yeah, she was just at work on the like in the middle of Albuquerque or in the middle of like driving to California or whatever. Which that would be really cool. And if I get to do it the tour again, hopefully I might have like something like that to where I could support myself a little bit better.
So when you're taking photos, I'm curious because I feel like this is something that I also struggle with myself. Like, how do you manage to stay in the moment, but also like capture your vision? Because I feel like sometimes I get so focused on like, I need to get a good picture, and then I'm like, wait, I missed 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll try to get like the base photos that I need. So I mean, a lot of this was different when I shot like Judah and the Lion because I wasn't super familiar with their music. But like when I shoot in like a church setting or like a smaller gig, most of the time the bands that I would shoot, uh, well, most of the time they're all like smaller. But say for instance, like the church setting, I already know a lot of the music, so I'm able
Hmm.
to like, oh, the song's building, or like here's a drum part, or like
Hmm.
the lights are gonna do this. So I'm able to like put myself where I need to be to get the shot. Um, the most recent like music artist I guess that I shot live was Need to Breathe, but that was
Oh,
like
cool.
2018, 2019.
Wow, really?
I went to OBU and they did a show at OBU and I was able to, since I was already there, I was able to shoot photos for them. And that was kind of another, I think the photos were better than the Judah and the Lion photos, but it was another like sent them the photos and they're like, oh, thanks. Um, but
You know what? At least you got an oh, thanks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes you
like,
don't get
wow,
anything.
it's
Sometimes
the
it's just
thought that counts,
ghosted, you
bud.
know?
Yeah, it's brutal. Um, but yeah, I think if I'm like if I were to approach shooting a show now and like say I'm not super familiar, I would like focus on getting like base photos of like the lead singer, the vocalists. A lot of times, like a lot of these smaller venues, the lighting is really bad, so you have to wait for like a big moment in a song when they bring the lights up, and then like during that, it's like machine gun fire, like your camera to
Yeah.
get as many photos with the good light that you can. Um, so I guess I don't really know how to answer the question. It depends on like the band that I was shooting. Like if I was shooting a band that I didn't know, then it'd be easy to
Hmm.
just like focus on that because I don't know any of the music. But if I was shooting like I don't know, flip turn, I would be like into the music,
Yeah.
uh, and it would be hard to concentrate. But then like also it's like okay, I'm here for a job. Like I can kind of there'll be times when I'm not focusing because I'm thinking of like, oh, how could I frame this or what could I do? But then sometimes you can kind of just shut your brain off and like point the camera at like the lead singer or like whatever. It's I think in the moments when you're trying to be creative, you have to like lock in and focus. But then some of the easier like just baseline shots, you can kind of like zone out a little bit, or I can at least. Um, so yeah.
For aspiring creatives, whether they're behind the drum set or another instrument or behind camera, what advice would you give for building a name in the live music space?
Say yes. That's what I would say. Uh like sometimes you have to swallow your pride and like maybe like there's like a oh it's a smaller gig or I don't know like oh it's not going to pay or there is like merit like a side to where you don't want to just like do stuff for free all the time but like when you're starting out you kind of do have to like hey here's what I can actually do uh and then someone will pay you after they know like what they're getting into
Yeah.
so yeah I guess the biggest thing would like don't be too cool to do like smaller shows or smaller gigs. And I mean, I'm still kind of in that spot. Like I'm still trying to get my name out there and like I need to bite the bullet and like uh start making like Instagram reels of me drumming and stuff. Um
Yeah.
I have always been like too self-conscious to like post stuff like that, but not even like, oh, it's like he's a bad drummer, but just like some of my friends being like, oh, it's like Clout Goblin, what's he doing? Like
Yeah.
and I just have to like say shut up to those voices and just go for it. So yeah, I would say like say yes, and then I mean like reach out to people. Uh, like a lot of local venues will let you do like first three songs in the pit, no flash. I mean that's how it was for me and some of the shows that I've done. Like you can maybe get a photo pass. I mean I don't know if people still do that, but like
Hmm.
Yeah, they
sometimes
do.
you can get photo passes. Like it's worked for me, so I mean I don't know why it wouldn't work for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. The show I shot last night, I found out that I was covering it like on Tuesday, and the one that I shot on Sunday,
Nice.
I found out I was shooting on Sunday. So, like,
Nice.
you just you never know what's gonna get handed
Yeah.
when um yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I've got a
first show
show.
you shot, you found out like a week before and you had to fly to California.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they pay for the ticket?
Oh no.
Nope. Well, they paid
Oh,
for the show, and I mean it was one of my very favorite artists, so like
okay.
I was
You're
and
like, yeah, in a
Michaela lives
heartbeat.
there. I could stay for
Okay,
free,
nice,
but
nice, nice.
it's like, all right, using the airline points right now. So
Yeah. That's
yeah.
crazy. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Um, I don't oh, I'm shooting a show tonight that like a
Oh,
guy
sick.
reached out about. It's like a local, like this guy that I know is releasing an EP. Um, so it's kind of there's a band that's opening for him, but they're like a big it's a bigger artist than he is, but they're opening for this guy's EP release, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'll be doing that. And the guy wanted me to shoot like exclusively on film, so I'm a little bit
Ooh.
nervous.
Oh,
Like
that's
that was
Yeah.
cool
one of the
though.
things. That was one of the things where it was like say yes, because for me, I'm like, uh, my film photography has always been like just me messing around with the camera, walking around like a downtown street or something. I've never
Hmm.
had like the pressure of like, oh, you're getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant to say yes because it's like outside of my comfort zone. But I was like, well, who knows? It could work. And I need the money, so yeah. And then I'm able to shoot some digital photos as well because I mean you only get like 36 shots a roll for
Yeah.
film. So after a couple like I'll probably get like 3 rolls and then shoot through that pretty fast. So it'll be
Hmm.
nice to have like the digital backup. But yeah, that's just I guess like an applicable
Yeah.
version of the just say yes. Like even if it's outside of your comfort zone, or even if you don't think like I'm the CEO of not thinking I can do something. So uh like I you just have to like do it and
Yeah.
almost not fake it till you make it, but like just do it. And
But in a
then
way, yeah.
if you mess up, like you mess up. Like
Hmm.
I could very well mess up some of these film photos, but I'll just
Well,
tell
and
the guy
once you
like,
do
yeah,
it once, like then
yeah,
you've done it. And the next time that somebody approaches you with the same thing, it's like, oh yeah, I've done that before. No problem.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like you just get through the initial like hump, like the of
yeah.
like doing it. Like I'd never gone on tour before this, and
Hmm.
now if some artist reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a drummer for like this 2 week run or whatever," I'd be like, "Yeah, I've been on
Sign
tour.
me
Like
up.
I have tour experience. Like I
Yeah.
have the gear. Like let me do it."
Yeah.
Um,
What do you mean you guys don't convince yourself you're gonna be bad at it every time? I do.
no,
No, I
eventually, like,
definitely do.
yeah, I sometimes like, oh, well, this one's different lighting, or oh, this is a different scenario, so maybe I'll mess that up.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
just all the
Maybe that's
stupid
Yeah, I hadn't been
voices.
in a photo pit for a while before last night, and I was like, do I remember how to do this at this
What's
stage?
ISO? How do I change the settings?
Yeah.
That's how it's like riding a bike. You just kind of
Yeah.
remember. Um, even with like same with drumming. It's like
Hmm.
somehow it all just like in the moment it like comes back.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
so. We kind of touched on this earlier, but looking ahead, what are some of your goals and hopes for your future and your career?
Um, I want to keep touring. Uh, if like dream goals, like I don't really have like a specific. I think like doing like a bigger, um, I guess bigger shows would be really cool. With the Ivy, like so, like dream. I'd love to get endorsed by some drum companies. There's like one in particular called Franklin.
Okay.
They're out of Tennessee, and like best drums I've ever played, and I'm like a huge fan. Uh, I just thought of something I could go off on a tangent about that I
This is the
shouldn't.
You
time. I
can
mean,
Oh,
go. We got all the
Franklin was
time.
hiring. They were hiring a position for remote work, and I saw that on their Instagram, and I like went. I went to it, and then I read the description, and I was like, I don't know if I could do that. Um, and then I closed the app, or I closed it out. I closed the tab, and then went back the next day, like, okay, maybe I should apply, and it was gone. Uh, so like because I psyched myself out, I missed out on. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten the job, but like I didn't even get
right.
a chance to apply because I immediately psyched myself out.
Yeah.
Um, that was another tangent, but like Dream, I'd love to like get on the team with them somehow. Or same with like there's a cymbal company. There's a few different cymbal companies. I don't know. Just it'd be really cool to have like to be on a team of like gear.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess like for that to happen, I feel like the band would have to be like playing a little bit bigger shows and like have a little bit more of a name behind them. And same with me. Uh, so I guess I don't know. I'm not like, oh, I want to be playing like Madison Square Garden. Like
Yeah.
I don't really care. I just think like playing like I do think bigger shows would be more fun.
Hmm.
But like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it because it's not. I don't. It's not like I don't know. My train of thought is just gone right now.
That's okay.
Uh,
We got to get the Ivy opening up for like a big band next time.
That's what that's what we were all talking about. Flip Turn's coming to Tulsa,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Yo, do they need local support?" Uh,
I will be there.
yeah. I talked to our manager in Dallas and was like, "Hey, you should reach out to their management and see if they need local support." Which like Flip Turn's big enough to where they probably don't. But if they want like a bigger, like a three band bill instead of just them and Odie Lay, like
You never
they're
know.
the big like you never know that would be like that would be a dream. Like opening for a band like them, I
Yeah.
think would be really cool because since we're a bit of a smaller band, um, in terms of like the grand scheme, like you
Mhm.
kind of I feel like, and we even the guys Wyatt and Sean, if you see this, we talked about it. Like they're like, yeah, the dream is to like open for someone, and then you play your set, you're done. You go to the bus or you go to the van, chill, or you watch the show.
Mm.
Um, so I guess that is like the most immediate dream would be like getting on with I don't know Flip Turn, or it'd be really cool. I don't know how any of this works, but like if the Ivy got on a label, I don't even know if Sean and Wyatt want to be on one, but
Right.
because of all of like the rigmarole with
Hmm.
like how much they take and like all that stuff. But if
Yeah.
there was like a really good label that was like genuine and like a good fit, I think that'd be really sick.
Hmm.
And then I think that would help a lot with like promo and marketing and like kind of the more businessy side of
Hmm.
things. Um, so yeah, I
You're in an
guess
interesting position right now because it's like you're trying to work for yourself, but you're also like tied to them in a certain way and kind of trying to balance both sides of it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
wanting to try to help more.
Hmm.
Like during some of the I've never been in the music scene or like the band management side. I was like, is there anything I could do? Like, is there any like how do you become a bookie? Like, how do
Yeah.
you book venues? Do you just reach out to them and say, hey, this band's playing, we'll take 10% plus drink sales or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh I'm like, could I do that? Like, is that possible? Is that a thing? Do you have to be attached to someone to do that, or can you just do
I
it?
don't think
I
so.
think
I
you
mean,
can just
Um,
do it.
yeah.
yeah, I kind of want to like try and see for
Yeah.
maybe the next one, like I can make up some like I'm Jordan with blah 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 team or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
No, you for sure can just do it because one day Abby and I were just like, hey, we have a music publication now.
Yeah.
You can just do it.
hell yeah, that's yeah. Um, that's
That's
so cool.
literally me emailing, hi, it's Michaela. Like,
Hi, it's Michaela with All Things Music, started by
exactly.
Abby
Started
and
by
Michaela of
us.
All Things Music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess I kind of answered it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, maybe I guess making a little bit more money with it, like actually
Yeah.
making money with it. I think
Yeah.
that's like the dream.
That is the
That
dream.
Yeah,
shouldn't have to be a dream. I said it before and I'll say it again, but
yeah. Sometimes, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Car rentals are expensive,
Yeah,
and
I
U-Haul
can imagine,
rentals.
especially when you do like seven of them.
Yeah.
Car rentals are expensive, equipment is expensive, hotels are expensive.
Oh yeah. Food is expensive. Dang, I didn't even think about equipment and hotels too. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Hmm.
Um,
Our last question, kind of a fun question that we always like to ask at the end. What is your song of the day today?
um, my immediate thought is Space Cowboy by Flip Turn.
All
Okay.
right.
A good
Uh,
one.
that was a song that like got me into them, and then
Hmm.
I only discovered them like this last month.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and like after hearing that song, I heard them. I saw a video of the drummer playing that song. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I listened to it on Spotify, and then like became a huge fan.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I would say that song, or maybe Juno as well, also by them.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say
Um,
Juno by Sabrina Carpenter at first. I was like, okay.
I do really like that song. I'm not gonna lie.
Good
That was like
takes.
the song from that record that I liked the most. And then
Yeah.
not to be that guy, but I like was listening to it before it like blew up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh and oh yeah, it became the like have you ever tried this one meme?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I do really like that song. I'm not gonna lie.
We're
Michaela and I are seeing Flip Turn at Lollapalooza this summer. We're extremely excited about that.
That's sick. I got tickets for the Tulsa show,
Yeah.
uh, and I'm so stoked. But I think seeing them in a festival environment would be awesome. I want to go to Lollapalooza so bad.
You should
Yeah.
come. We
Yeah.
have our massive list of everyone we want to see every day.
It's
So
got like 30 people on it.
Are you just gonna like watch two or three songs from each and then head to the next one, or
we're just gonna hope that they don't overlap.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Who are you most excited to see?
Um, I'm a big Gracie Abrams fan, so I'm excited to see Gracie Abrams. We're very excited about Del Water Gap.
We're super excited.
Yeah,
Huge Del Water Gap fans. Um, who else? I can't even remember
I mean, we're
everybody.
really excited to see Sabrina Carpenter also.
Yes.
yeah, that's
Oh,
valid.
we're gonna see Role Model.
Rufus
Nice,
Du Sol.
Oh yeah, Rufus Du Sol.
nice.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I looked at the lineup whenever it first came out and was like, wow, this band and these, wow.
Hmm.
And then immediately like tickets are sold out. So then I just
Yeah.
like
Oh, I
pushed
know.
it off because I
We
was
were
like, well,
like,
They'll drop more.
they will
I
probably.
hope so. Or I guess resellers too, but then that's like
Yeah.
double the price. So
Yeah.
I
one
was
day, hopefully I'll get to go.
I was sad.
Maybe
It
the
was
Ivy will
you.
play.
Yeah.
There we go.
Honestly, we were kind of hoping they were going to, but maybe next year.
Uh, they did Lollapalooza like during COVID. It was
Yeah.
like Lollapalooza online. I
Yeah.
wasn't in the band yet, but um, so I mean, it's possible.
The live
But
debut at Lollapalooza is waiting for you specifically.
I hope
So,
so. That'd be so sick. Even just like I guess another part of the dream would be to play like a legit festival like Bonnaroo or
yeah.
uh Kilby Block Party. That'd be crazy. Or Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Um or Austin City Limits would be cool too.
That would be cool
Oh yeah.
too.
Um yeah, really anything. But
As we kind of get to the end here, would you kind of like to give the listeners whatever your plugs are to find you and keep up with you and hire you if they're looking?
um I guess right now the only one is uh Jordan Lynch underscore on Instagram. Um that's where I'm gonna push myself to push past all of the like negative talk uh and start posting drumming content. But right now it's just like that's more of my photography, like I guess
Hmm.
portfolio, if you will. Yeah, I guess like at least start with Jordan Lynch underscore on Instagram and then shoot a message my way.
Go from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.